One fight was meant to redefine a generation, and for a moment, it did. Terence "Bud" Crawford, moving up in weight to face the formidable Canelo Alvarez, claimed victory and cemented his legacy as a master of the sweet science. Broadcast worldwide on Netflix, the bout was a high-stakes gamble for immortality. And when the dust settled, Crawford held the championship belt as veteran commentator Max Kellerman declared him the GOAT of this era. But while the world focused on the punches, the most revealing moments came in the words spoken after the final bell, exposing a bitter struggle for the soul of boxing itself, a reminder that even historic victories can reveal the sport's slow, painful decline.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence "Bud" Crawford.
The triumphant story soon grew more complex. Boxing legend and commentator Andre Ward praised Crawford's performance, calling it nothing short of great, highlighting the danger and skill behind his victory. At nearly 38, Crawford dismantled a bigger, stronger opponent with masterful intelligence, conditioning, and surprising strength rooted in his wrestling background, qualities often overlooked by fans. Ward emphasized
just seeing Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
From Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 38, 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheiks for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there. The power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So
how Crawford's power and endurance earned Canelo's respect early, neutralizing his size advantage and framed the win as the final undeniable stamp on a legendary career, a man who had answered every question the sport had ever asked of him.
I'd like to see him do next. Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
Yeah,
why are we still in the game?
Yeah, I get it. Andre, always good to talk to you.
And Ward said something no one saw coming. When asked what was next for the new king, his answer was shocking: retirement. Ward believed Crawford had checked every box: financial security for generations, a reputation as an all-time great, and a legacy that could never be tarnished. In his view, there was nothing left for Crawford to prove.
I said was, and I was right. And of course, Canelo is the face of boxing. So of course he feels a certain way about it. But does anyone dispute that boxing is not as big as it used to be? Right? It's not. If you go down in the street, the average person doesn't know. Now, it's different in Mexico, obviously. And I even said before that, Mexican and Mexican-American fans have kept boxing alive in North America. So Canelo from Mexico, of course, has a different experience, because you walk down the street in Mexico, the average person knows who the champion is. In America, in the United States, they do not. The point is, we have a chance for the first time in my life, which is why I'm involved with this, because I think there's an historical moment where there's a chance that it could work, that between Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White and Nick Khan, who's the most effective executive I have ever even heard about, let alone seen, that this could become what's going on here, what Canelo Crawford's kicking off, could actually result in a golden era of boxing. Because for the first time,
suggestion lingered in the air, a shocking idea that the man who had just reached the pinnacle of boxing should walk away immediately, hinting that the rewards at the top might no longer be worth the risk. While Ward considered retirement for the sport's new star, Max Kellerman took the opposite stance, delivering an emotional plea focused on the future. He called the Crawford-Canelo about the start of a new golden era of boxing, insisting that Canelo remained the face of the sport.
A league or a sport to grow, you need to make plans. And the issue with boxing has always been it's a laissez-faire marketplace. It's, as Dana White says, a going out of business sale. Every promotion's trying to juice the fans for everything they got, which is why now only a handful of fans are watching on pay-per-view. The prices keep going up because the marketplace is shrinking because we haven't exposed it to the mainstream. Because we take these fans and we $100 for a pay-per-view. Come on, man. And half the time the fights aren't good, right? And they don't take place when we want to see them even. So that base gets smaller and smaller. And as it gets smaller, we charge them more and more because to make the profit, right? That has not worked. It's dried boxing up. It's moved it to the market.
Kellerman's bold claim sparked controversy, pitching a bright future for boxing, while critics argued the sport had long been in decline.
You have more of the best fighters in the world than anyone else. So I would ask you, does this have the resources? Turkey al-Sheikh. Do we have the resources? Yes. Do you have someone who has built an institution in combat sports? The only one I'm aware of. No other institution ever really existed in boxing. As Dana White will say, who I go back with more than 20 years, as Dana White would say, so how many billions of dollars has boxing generated? And what's left? There's nothing here. Mm-hmm. Promoters go out and, they have a little suite of offices, a couple rooms, and then they leave and then they're gone. There's no institution left. The UFC is an institution, guys. Why do you think all your friends and everybody know more about the UFC and it's talked about more in the mainstream than boxing? Because they have a they there. So the resources are there with Turkey. The knowledge of institution building is there with Dana. And Nick Khan is, I'm telling you, and I go back 25 years with Nick Khan, used to be my agent. He's the best operator I have ever seen, period, in any business. He is the best executive I have ever seen. I don't think there's a close second. So Turkey resources, Dana institutional knowledge, and Nick Khan as the executive. Can this work? And now it's kicked off with Canelo.
Kellerman proposed centralizing boxing under a few powerful figures: Turki al-Sheikh, Dana White, and Nick Khan, to fix the sport's fragmented structure and build a unified future.
You want an NBA or an NFL in boxing? Here it comes, because he knows how to build an institution. And how do you do that?
Hey Max. Boxing is always bigger and big. Don't say boxing is not big enough. Boxing is big. You know how big is boxing.
Should it get bigger, yes or no? Should it get bigger, Canelo?
Maybe it's gonna be bigger, but look, boxing is always big and bigger and bigger. We need to talk about that too. Boxing is boxing.
I love Canelo in English, by the way. I love it.
Boxing is boxing.
No lies. No lies.
So
how do you do it? So how do you do it? You have someone like...
My respect for the sport. Great job, everything, but boxing is...
Kellerman's grand vision sparked immediate backlash, with journalists and fans accusing him of preaching and trying to manufacture belief through repetition. Critics also highlighted the hypocrisy, noting that just days earlier, he had clashed with Canelo at a press conference,